I could talk about your inner critic. That we all, to some degree, have some form of inner criticism within us, a part of us that's hard on ourselves, a part of ourselves that tends to be try and be perfect, or tries and gets it all right, and then when we don't get it all right, we use it as an excuse or a reason to beat ourselves up. That almost everyone has this, maybe even everyone has a version of themselves that does this in different areas of your life, and it's different for each person. But what you realize is that most people do not need more criticism in their life. Most people are well aware of what they do that is not good. They're well aware of the words they say where they're like, I could have said that better. They're well aware of the choices they make where they're like, maybe that wasn't the best choice for me. They're well aware of everything they do wrong. And really what everyone needs on this planet is more encouragement and more people pointing out what they do right in each moment. And if you're around people who feel like they aren't aware of their words or actions, they're most likely people you're not meant to spend a whole lot of time with. That people that are unaware are often best served by other people that are unaware. And if you're someone who is aware of your words and your actions and the choices you make, and you try and do the best you can in each moment, even if you're critical on yourself, most of the time you do not need to be around people who are unaware of their words, their actions, and how their choices or words might be affecting others. And we learn to surround ourselves with people that are healthy and supportive and who are good for us, because the goodness others show us is what brings out our greatest goodness. And if we're around people that feel like don't bring out our best version of ourselves, it's oftentimes the universe saying, you really don't need to hang out with this person that much anymore. That we often make our greatest choices by how good we feel internally, how relaxed our body feels, how calm and peaceful we feel internally, how the greatest sense of like well-being or relaxation then creates a space for us to make choices that only further that experience within us. And that doesn't mean we have to always spend time doing things that are peaceful. Sometimes we can listen to more upbeat music or do things that maybe are like a good stress but healthy, like going on an intense mountain bike ride or something like that. But most of the time, how we feel internally then impacts our choices we make. And if we take time to constantly beat ourselves up or be hard on ourselves or try and get things perfectly, and then when we don't, we use it as a reason to be harsh towards you, that just perpetuates the things that we're not doing right for us to continue to act, to speak, and make the same choices that are leading us to not feel good about us, and then are perpetuating the parts of us that can be internally abusive. Because when you take time to be harsh or critical on you, you're then just building up more harsh and critical energy within you that then, as you make choices, affects how you choose. It affects the words you say, and you tend to speak from a place that is more critical and harsh because of how you are talking to you. And everyone who's talking to others is always relating to others how they relate to themselves. And when you meet people who are sweet, oftentimes they're very sweet to themselves. And if you meet people who you're like, oh, they're kind of critical, or they're hard to be around, or they're negative or harsh or toxic, they're just showing you how they talk to themselves when they're alone. And people like that, what heals inner criticism is love and encouragement and reminding people of how incredible and amazing you are. And I've taught this before, that if you just took more time to point out what you're doing right, to notice how amazing you are, you're filling yourself up with more amazingness. The ocean that you are, you're pulling more amazingness to the surface of that ocean that then starts to act through you, starts to speak through you. and everything grows within you that you call out within you. So if you take time to call out things that are, if you call out constantly what you're doing wrong, you're going to continue to get things wrong in your life. And if you call out more of what you're doing right, more of what you're doing amazing, more of how beautiful and stunning and brilliant you are, the more you're going to speak and make choices from that place, because that is what is growing inside of you. And the reality is, if you want to make different choices in your life, you want to be more confident, if you want to be a better version of you, it's always through love. That love is the greatest healer. The willingness to say, no matter what I'm experiencing, I'm willing to love and encourage myself, no matter how I'm seeing this play out in front of me, no matter the lens I'm looking through. I'm going to take it as a reminder to remind myself how brilliant I am, how gorgeous I am, how stunning I am. Because beauty really is in the eye of the beholder, and you are the eye of the beholder of your life, and you get to choose how you see your life just by how you talk to you. And if you take time to give yourself more compliments, to say, gosh, I'm hot, I'm sexy, I'm crushing today, I did all these things right, and you point that out, the more you're going to see the inner beauty in you, the inner beauty in those around you, the inner beauty and the inner love and amazingness in your experience, based on, I reprogrammed my brain by calling it out and saying more kind things to me. And so now I'm seeing through that lens of how amazing life is by me just telling myself that I'm amazing more often. And whatever you feel like you're lacking, whether you feel like you feel like you're not a smart person, or you feel like you're not an attractive person, if you just call it out within you, that experience can change. Because oftentimes we're just seeing lenses how our parents treated us. And so if our parents nitpicked at something we did, nitpicked at our beauty, or nitpicked at like the grades we were getting or whatever, then we see that's the lens that's created, that we move through the world from. And what we learn is we have to become our own parents. And the things that our parents didn't do well is just to help motivate us to become our own greatest parents. And can we say the words that we've always wanted to hear from others? Whether it's being brilliant, or being beautiful, or being gorgeous, or just taking time to notice more often, to encourage yourself, to notice what you're doing right, to remind yourself how amazing and incredible you are, and remind yourself how brave and courageous you are to have survived and faced everything that you have survived and faced from your past. And when you start to do that, you start to reclaim your power, because oftentimes we're only seeking out partnerships or friendships or spending time with people who aren't good to us, when we're hoping that they will recognize or validate us in a way that we're not recognizing and validating in ourselves. And the more we can take time to recognize and validate who we are as people, the more we're going to feel whole and complete in ourselves. And the more whole and complete in yourself, the less you'll throw yourself into relationships or hang out with people that aren't good for you, because you will be able to fill yourself up, and you won't be seeking that as much in the people around you. And so as we move through our day, can we just take more time to encourage ourselves? And the more we encourage ourselves, the more we'll feel supported through our existence, whether other people are supporting us or not. And what you realize is, I only felt that to some degree, life was only as hard, and I only had as much struggle as my unwillingness to support me. And the more support I showed myself, the more I felt whole and complete to not need things outside of me to support me. And that actually is what created the space for greater support to flow into my life, just by me taking more time to remind myself how amazing I am, to give myself compliments that I've always wanted to hear from others, and to say that no matter what is happening, it's always a reason for more love, more kindness, and to take time to give myself greater appreciation. And maybe we could end this video by just taking time, and you can just repeat it after me. But like, thank you for having the most beautiful eyes. Thank you for having the most beautiful face. Thank you for being so incredibly brilliant and for knowing so much about the areas of your life that you want to know about. Thank you for being the most incredible individual that anyone would be lucky to know. Thank you for the level of love and presence and connection you bring to every person you meet. And thank you for just being the person you are and surviving all that you survived, because I know the world would not be the same without you. And I'm so grateful you're here. So thank you for listening, and I hope you guys liked it.